Good day, listeners. Welcome to another episode of the NeoLiberal Round podcast. This is our podcast news. Today, we bring you updates on the legal battles surrounding former President Donald Trump and the ongoing Castro V Trump trial. The title of this news report is entitled Trump's Legal Battles and Castro v. Trump Trial. In recent developments, former President Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to 4 criminal charges linked to his efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential elections. The background or the backdrop of his arrest and arraignment is none other than in Washington, D.C., or the Washington, D.C. courthouse, which had a front row view of the violence during the January 6, 2020 Capitol attack or 2021 Capitol attack. It is also the same courthouse where over 1,000 Trump supporters who participated in the insurrection have made appearances. Trump's indictment has raised eyebrows as it is perceived by him as a persecution of a political opponent. But something he believes should never have happened in America, where people are held accountable for their actions, which is spelled out in the Constitution. You are held, no one is above the Constitution, especially when you work for the people within a democracy. But is it a democracy that I talk about in neoliberalism that is based on the special interest? I did say that P.J. Patterson, the former Prime Minister of Jamaica, says the law is not a shackle unless he believes that the law does not apply to him. Now, the charges against him include conspiring to defraud the United States and obstructing an official proceeding. Prosecutors are relying on a Reconstruction-era civil rights law to accuse Trump and his co-conspirators of attempting to deprive individuals of their right to vote and have their votes counted. In an extraordinary turn of events, the next hearing in Trump's case is scheduled for August 28, just 5 days after the first Republican presidential primary debate. The timing underscores the unprecedented federal court schedule for a frontrunner in the 2024 nomination race. Meanwhile, in the Castro v. Trump trial, the Castro versus Trump trial, the legal battle between John A. Castro and Donald Trump continues to capture attention. Castro, a U.S. 2024 presidential candidate, initially filed a suit against the Federal Election Commission, the FEC, arguing that they should not allow Trump to run for office due to his involvement in the January 6th insurrection, which he claimed violated the 14th Amendment. However, the court dismissed the case on standing grounds with a one-line. The court Mr. Castro lacked standing. Now, undeterred by that, Mr. Castro has filed a lawsuit, or is filing a lawsuit. Well, I apologize. That was with the FEC, but with the FEC, the ruling is that the FEC does not have grounds to make any determination about the eligibility of anybody's candidacy, because they are only supposed to be monitoring campaign financing. Now, undeterred by that, Mr. Castro filed a new lawsuit against Trump in January 2023, setting the stage for the legal show. The presiding judge, Aileen Cannon, a Trump appointee, has been accused by Castro and many others, and was even just cited for being too imposing in a particular case, and so it is not just Mr. Castro, but there are several other cases here. But Judge Eileen has been accused of displaying bias towards Trump, adding complexity to the proceedings. Now, the ruling was further delayed, and in July, the case was dismissed, with the court concurring with Trump's motion, which is Judge Eileen, who presided over, who was the presiding judge. They dismissed the case concurring with Trump's motion that Castro lacked standing as a candidate, and of course, it was in this particular scenario where the justification was a one-liner. The court only provided a one-liner. No really justification for their reasoning, just that he lacked standing. In the sense that he cannot file a suit against Mr. Trump because he lacks standing, in the sense that he has not established himself that he's a candidate, one, and he has not set himself apart from the public in this regard. Of course, Mr. Castro has demonstrated and has made several announcements that he's going to be running. Of course, you will find a more detailed story of this of the particular discussion in the NeoLiberal Round, in the NeoLiberal journals. We just published a story on this, and you can read more on that if you visit the NeoLiberal journals. But after this ruling by Miss Aileen Cannon, Mr. Castro promptly filed an appeal to the 11th District Court to overturn Judge Cannon's decision and requested her recusal from not just this particular matter, but all cases involving Trump. However, on August 1, 2023, and we might be off a couple of days, Mr. Castro reported, and it is available on his Twitter page at Real John A. Castro, with the handle Real John A. Castro. Mr. Castro reported that he and his legal team have filed an emergency petition. You can file, and there is a copy of the petition available on his Twitter page. And I've also copied it and posted it in the article that we have in the NeoLiberal journals, on the story, on breaking news story that we have, which is the featured news on the NeoLiberal journals in the neoliberal.com. There's a copy of the petition. So he and his legal team filed an emergency petition to the United States Supreme Court. This move by Mr. Castro and his team indicates that he's determined, or indicates his determination to pursue justice at the highest level of the judiciary. Now, critics have raised concerns about Trump's surrogates influencing the outcome of the trial, allowing them to define a candidate's standing in a way that aligns with their desire. Again, let me say this again. Critics have raised concerns about Trump's surrogates who are influencing the outcomes of the trial, including judges who are appointed by Mr. Trump, allowing them to define a candidate standing in a way that aligns with their desired rulings. Now, we invite you can visit the article in the NeoLiberal journals where we flesh this out some more, and you can stay tuned to the NeoLiberal Round podcast and the NeoLiberal journals at the neoliberal.com. Stay tuned to the NeoLiberal Round podcast news for further updates as these legal battles unfold. We will continue to bring you in-depth coverage and analysis of the ever-evolving developments in the world of politics and law. And just so you know, visit us, subscribe to us, share us with your friends, let us know how we're doing, let us know how we can improve. Visit us at anchor.fm/theneoliberal, and you can support us by going to anchor.fm/theneoliberal/support. We're all about serving the world today to solve tomorrow's challenges by making popular what was the monopoly. And don't forget to get your copy of my book, which is available all over the world and with us here at the NeoLiberal. If you go to the neoliberal.com, we also have a marketplace on Facebook where you can get a copy. But let us know how we're doing, and please visit us, subscribe, donate to us, invest in us. We're all about serving the world to solve tomorrow's challenges. Thank you for tuning in.